Hey guys, in today's video I wanted to see if I can spread a little bit of knowledge and hopefully prevent someone from getting into a mistake like I did. I did buy a few what were supposed to be either growing tips or nodes, and they at one point were but no longer are. So I mean, I don't know exactly what went wrong. I do know I've learned a bit about propagating since I bought these. I had only done monstera deliciosa, just the regular green one, wet stick propagations of that. So I did have some knowledge of it, and not just like one or two. I did like 100 monsteras. Like, I had tonnage. So I thought I knew what I was doing, but apparently like no one does. I didn't know it all. So I do want to share a couple tips here with you to let you know what I did wrong on these very expensive mistakes. This one here, at one point did have 2 leaves on it. Let's see if we can get it to focus without rolling and falling. Right now there's just a little bit of a pink color, which is all that you could identify it as the plant. It was at one point a pink princess growing tip. It's only about an inch long now. When I bought it, the picture had 2 nice full leaves. To me, they looked like they were about 6 to 8 inches tall or long, and they had some nice pink variegation, which is why I bought it. Now, the person I bought it from did do the right thing and try and prevent it from drying out by putting wax on the end, which is perfectly fine and does help. I think the issue with this was it was not near as old as it should have been. It did have an aerial root, but just a very, very little freckle of an aerial root. Like, there was no length or anything to it. And the second leaf, because it was 2 leaves, had just started to unfurl. So that one dried up and was dead in the box when I unpackaged it. The other one was smashed. So it didn't last very long. I did have it in water for about a month, maybe 2, and seeing that it wasn't doing anything, so I took it out and I put it in moss because I didn't want it to rot. Like I said, wasn't cheap, definitely wasn't given. This other one here, again, same thing. This one though did have a little more of a chance because it is a red emerald philodendron, so it was a little bit bigger to begin with. You can see here, if I pull this out of the moss, that there are some aerial roots on it now. When I got this, it was a pack of 4 cuttings. You've seen my red emerald philodendron in my tour, hopefully. If you didn't, that one has, I'd say, about 10 leaves now, and probably a good 4 to 6 inches in height because the leaves do come out and then they droop. But you can see on this one it is growing, starting to split open, so it is going to unfurl a new leaf. So this one I was able to save. They're not all going to be that way. But again, you want to make sure your aerial roots are developed and it's not just a little node, because they won't work. Your cutting has to be from a mature section of the plant. This here is a philodendron pedatum, P-E-D-A-T-U-M. Probably saying it wrong. If I am, I'm sorry. But you can see it's starting to get a leaf. This one again, I bought 2 pieces of cutting. This was actually the older piece, but for some reason it started to rot in the pot that I put it in. I think this one was on me and bad soil. So make sure you keep an eye on your plants, and if you start to see them lose leaves or something and it was healthy the day before, check it. But you can see that one we should be able to save and get some healthy plant out of. This last one here is the one I'm most ashamed of. It was, I thought, gonna be the crowning jewel of my collection. And after I paid for this, I couldn't sleep till I got here. And when it did, it had a scar on the node. You can see it does look kind of gross. It has started to rot on me a few times. It is a white albo or a albo monstera variegated. Basically it's just white variegated monstera. But I didn't know that you could damage a node. I thought as long as it was there, it was good. This one had a brown paper liner over it. When I purchased it, I asked the seller if it was a viable node. He said yes, it has an aerial root. And I don't want to show you because it did root. I've had this thing almost a year. The first 3-4 months I went through checking on it every other day, making sure it was still there, it was still solid, it hadn't rotted. And about 2 months into it, all of a sudden it just started blackening from the tips. So it got shorter and shorter. I kept having to trim it. I was keeping the water clean. I did try to put it in moss. None of that helped. It kept rotting. So this is actually cocoa, shredded cocoa core, or however you want to say it. But I still can't get it to do anything. I've tried kiki paste, which I was recommended by some people. And I don't know if I bought a knockoff version or what. Like I say, things are hard for me to get here without paying an arm and a leg, so I tried to order it in, and it came in some mystery tube, so I think that might be another problem with it. But if you're going to spend money, and this is my whole point of the video, make sure you get something that is worthwhile. You don't want a growing tip that only has one leaf or doesn't have any leaves unfurled yet. And try and get something that has a couple nodes. That way you have a couple chances in case it does start to go south on you. You can trim it if you had to, or there's 2 growth options. I mean, if you can afford it, bigger is better, but I understand stuff's expensive and it doesn't necessarily get to you in the condition you see it if you order it. So just take it from me, learn from my mistakes if you can. Again, this one might be okay because it does have some roots coming out on it. You can see there that little red freckle there. That's gonna come an offshoot, so I'll have 2 growing points on this, but this has taken me 4 months to get like this. So I mean, it's been a while. Like I say, if you really want the plant, save up, buy a decent size or something that has roots, especially if you're new to this. You don't want to have a bad episode. I have another monstera that I bought after this that's still not doing good, and that one, I don't know what I'm doing to it or what. I mean, it was stuck in the propagation vessel when I got it, so that took some prying to get out, and I think I might have set it back a little with some root damage there, but that one's going to be a little bit of a trial and error for me too. So hope this helped and you got something out of it. Thank you for watching.